recovery centers where folks can visit and get access to resources on how to file insurance claims, where to find temporary housing, how to navigate legal system with legal aid, basically cleanup and debris removal support. I'm going to read out those two locations. We have one in Kingwood at Kingwood United Methodist Church, and the other one in the Cloverleaf neighborhood at Grayson Community Center. Now, there we have the Community Services Department of Harris County, the Red Cross, Baker Ripley, and other nonprofits who are all united, communicating every single day, working on lessons learned, feeding back information on how we can improve the services that are being provided there so that we're connecting folks with resources. And we're asking folks, if you've been affected, that's a way to access the resources that we have so far, and we're fighting, the mayor and I, for more resources from the federal level. The second way to support what's currently happening, to support the survivors, and really the focus of today, is by donating. That's one of the most powerful things folks can do to support survivors of this disaster. There are dozens of communities trying to dig themselves out from disaster, from another flood, sometimes folks who've been affected before. And that's the way that we can support them. We're setting up a fund, an Imelda Recovery Fund. It's modeled after the Harvey Recovery Fund, and it will operate transparently, work through organizations, nonprofit organizations that have been vetted and that have experience. It is being run by the Greater Houston Community Foundation, and they will be vetting all applications, accounting for every dollar donated and every dollar spent. So that is what we're establishing here right now, and we ask that folks support that fund. Every bit helps, and the way you can be the most supportive is through donating money, because that way we can work with the Greater Houston Community Foundation, with our partners across the county and city, to identify needs and then work with nonprofits to respond to those needs and be very smart in matching people's needs with the resources that we have. Even if you weren't affected, you have a role, and this is a role. So I ask that folks help us spread the word, that they get that information out. Now, the final way to do this, and some folks want to get involved differently, is we'll name this, besides donating, besides rebuilding and recovering if you were affected, is getting involved in a different way. So we have compiled a set of options for people to participate with nonprofits, to help volunteer, to help partner with nonprofit groups, with churches and faith organizations, and it's not too late to get involved and be a part of that. So all of those resources, everything I just named, all of those options are on readyharris.org. We also posted on Ready Harris the link to the donation fund that we've established today. So you can access all of that at Ready Harris. And this is it. We know how to come together. We know we do that well. We know that this is challenging for people, that we've seen this before, but we're all ready to respond. We are ready to rise to the challenge. I know we will. We're working together, and we ask for everybody's partnership on this. I'm going to repeat my remarks in Spanish as well, and then we'll hear from the mayor and take some questions. Primero quiero agradecer a todas las personas de servicios públicos que han ayudado a responder tras este desastre. Pudo haber sido mucho peor, pero hubieron dedicados servidores públicos quienes trabajaron día y noche poniendo sus vidas en riesgo para que pudiéramos salvar y rescatar, evacuar a personas que necesitaban de su ayuda. Entonces quiero darles las gracias. Quiero darles las gracias a Mack, aquí Gallery Furniture, por su apoyo, al alcalde también por su apoyo y su colaboración con el condado. Me preocupa que se nos olvide el tramo por el cual están pasando muchos miembros de nuestra comunidad. Nosotros estamos aquí y al mismo tiempo hay personas en su casa, en su sala, en su cocina preguntándose qué van a hacer. No podemos olvidar a esas personas. Al fin y al cabo, todos somos miembros del rescate, somos miembros del apoyo y todos podemos hacer algo. De eso se trata esta discusión hoy. Y yo veo mi rol como poder conectar a la comunidad con lo que ellos mejor hacen. Ahora voy a ofrecer 3 opciones de colaboración para la comunidad y todas estas opciones se pueden acceder a través de readyharris.org, donde está la información también en español. Primero, para los sobrevivientes, las personas afectadas. Hemos establecido 2 centros de recuperación en el condado, abrieron hoy. Ahí pueden encontrar alojamiento, acceso a alojamiento temporal, servicios legales, apoyo limpiando la casa, limpiando hogares y basura, cómo llenar reclamos de seguro. Los 2 centros de recuperación están, uno en Kingwood United Methodist Church, y el otro en el vecindario de Cloverleaf, en Grayson Community Center. Tenemos ahí miembros de organizaciones sin ánimo de lucro del condado, todos apoyando, y continuamos trabajando, nos reunimos todos los días a discutir cómo podemos mejorar, y a la vez, tanto yo como el alcalde pidiendo recursos al gobierno federal. Segundo, y lo más importante para hoy, es donar. Lo que pueden hacer ustedes es donar al fondo que estamos estableciendo, el Fondo de Recuperación de Imelda. Este es un fondo independiente que se está manejando a través de la fundación The Greater Houston Community Foundation, y le dará los fondos que recaudemos a organizaciones que han sido ya examinadas, que tienen experiencia para ayudar a la comunidad con lo que ellos más necesitan. Entonces, apóyennos. Hoy ya estamos anunciando donantes que nos han ayudado y necesitamos que toda la comunidad participe y nos ayude a recaudar fondos para ayudar a las personas que han sufrido más. Aunque usted no haya sido afectado, tiene un papel en esta situación, y es el de podernos apoyar con fondos. Así analizamos las necesidades y conectamos las necesidades con los fondos que recaudemos. Finalmente, involucrarse. Si no es donando, si no es porque sea sobreviviente, es participe, involúcrese de otra manera. También en Ready Harris tenemos acceso a oportunidades de voluntariado para trabajar con las organizaciones sin ánimo de lucro, para también trabajar con las comunidades de fe, con las iglesias, y poder apoyar a los sobrevivientes. Entonces son esas 3 las opciones que queremos presentar. Este es el momento de no olvidar la tragedia, de unirnos todos como ya sabemos hacerlo y seguir adelante a la vez que nosotros en el condado y en la ciudad continuamos con nuestros proyectos. Muchas gracias. Thank you so much. And I'm honored to welcome to the podium our incredible partner in this and many other projects, Mayor Turner.
Let me start off by thanking Judge Hidalgo, and I look forward to working with her on this particular project as well. And then, Mattress Mack, let me thank you again for opening up your store. In fact, I will tell you, on Thursday, in the afternoon, on Thursday, I got a call when I was at the Office of Emergency Management from Mattress Mack himself, who was on the phone, letting me know that he was opening up gallery furniture as a shelter again, and wanted people to know. So he didn't wait for anyone to call him. He was calling directly, and that's just who he is. That's what they do. And so on behalf of the city of Houston, I want to thank him again for his generous support. I want to thank his In fact, I want to thank him and his son and his family because they are taking the lead at getting the word out about the Imelda Relief Fund, and putting it out on their social media, encouraging people to contribute. And the goal is to do things as quickly as possible. So thank you for what they are doing. Last week, I also want to acknowledge some of the people that are up here. The Greater Houston Community Foundation, Renee Wissett Barrios, who is the Senior Vice President and Chief Philanthropy Officer with the Greater Houston Community Foundation. Renee is quite familiar with this fund and how we handle things through the local relief effort during Hurricane Harvey. And then I want to acknowledge Tanya DeVos, who works directly in Independent Heights and been out there for a number of years. And she's been out there assisting people, especially our seniors whose homes were flooded from Harvey and now with Imelda. So thank you, Tanya. Look forward to working directly with you. And then I ran into Councilmember Carlos Cisneros out on Saturday out in the neighborhood of Independent Heights. We were walking the streets, and Carlos Cisneros, we look forward to continuing to work with the people in your district, quite frankly, from Independent Heights all the way over to Denver Harbor. So there were a number of areas that were impacted. Look, when Thursday morning came, the storm came through. Imelda dropping 6 inches of rain per hour. That's a lot of rainwater. And as a result, areas within, let's say within the city of Houston, but even outside the city of Houston, all the way up to the Beaumont area and beyond. But inside the city of Houston, Kingwood areas, Independent Heights, Denver Harbor on the east side, part areas of Huffman, the northeast corridor, a number of homes were flooded as a result of Imelda. And so we are anticipating in the city of Houston, and we're still doing our assessments, about anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 homes impacted as a result. Not nearly as much as Harvey, but nonetheless, if your home was flooded, or if your home has been flooded 2, 3, 4 times, or if your home was flooded from Hurricane Harvey and now from Imelda, it doesn't matter how many other homes were flooded, yours was flooded and you were deeply impacted. We are Houston strong, which means storms keep coming, we keep standing. And in large part, we keep standing because people keep helping. And that's what this initiative is all about. And the goal is to move as quickly as we can. And that's why I'm very appreciative again to Mattress Mack and Gallery Furniture for the call. New Light Ministries, Bishop Hilliard called also on Thursday, and they set up their shelter. Lakewood responded, they set up their shelter, as well as some additional shelters that were put up by the city of Houston. The judge and I spoke last week about providing a vehicle for people to want to do things. Because immediately the calls came in from businesses and others saying, Mayor, how can we help? We want to do something, and so how can we help? The Imelda Assistance Fund will be set up very similar to the Hurricane Harvey Relief Fund, established with the Greater Houston Community Foundation. And the Imelda Fund will be set up with an advisory board and a committee similar to before. The county judge and I each will name a chair, and today I'm naming as the co-chair representing the city will be Winnell Herron of HEB, who is the group vice president of public affairs, diversity, and environmental relations. She will be the co-chair representing the city of Houston. The Imelda Assistance Fund will meet the needs of those who primarily, from our perspective, who primarily need home repair, temporary housing, or emergency financial assistance. And so the goal for us is primarily for home repair. For example, as I walk the streets in Independent Heights on Saturday, in that section alone, I would say anywhere between maybe 100, 150 homes were flooded, took on water, and it's primarily an area where there are a number of senior citizens, and so they need assistance quickly as possible in repairing their home, and so the goal is to reach them as quickly as possible. And I want to thank HEB for immediately stepping up. They are contributing $150,000 to the relief fund, and so I want to thank them. I also want to thank other companies who have agreed to contribute to the fund already. Comcast, AT&T, Oric, Republic Service, NRG, just a few of the names to name a few. These are companies who wanted to contribute. They wanted a vehicle to contribute. And so instead of trying to create up another entity, we've utilized the same vehicle. We'll utilize some of the same nonprofits. The money will go through the nonprofits, not to individuals that, directly from us, but working through the nonprofits, the same vehicles before. But the primary intent, home repair, furniture, a number of people's cars got stranded, towed, for example, or they're not functional. They may not have the means to get transportation to assist them. So the goal is to move as quickly as possible to get people back on their feet. That's our intent. We do not expect to raise it nearly as much as we raised as we did through Harvey, but every amount that's given is an amount that will help individuals who were directly impacted by Imelda as we continue to work to get people back on their feet, get them back in a stable environment so that they can move forward. Houston is strong. It has always been a strong city. It will continue to be a strong city, but in large part, it's because it's a very generous, giving city that we help out one another. We're as strong as our weakest link. And when any of our neighbors find themselves in trouble, we will reach out to assist. So I want to thank companies and individuals who have already agreed to give. If you desire to give, please contribute to the fund. And then we'll make sure utilizing the vehicle of the Greater Houston Foundation to get those dollars out as quickly as possible. I also want to acknowledge someone else that I ran into on Saturday, Dr. Godfrey Hubert with disaster recovery, with Hope Disaster Recovery. When I was out there on the streets in Independent Heights, he and his crew were right out there helping to mud and gut people's homes in that area. And so thank you. Yes, please give it up to him. And what Dr. Hubert indicated to me is that, Mayor, we can move quick, fast, and in a hurry. In fact, they were already moving very quickly. And so I want to thank him, and I also ran into a number of Boy Scout organizations that were out there as well. So thank you very, very much, and I want to make sure that we tie in directly with you because you're already demonstrating your commitment. And then Janice Weaver, who heads our community service section at the City of Houston. Janice will be assisting in collecting supplies, cleaning utensils, and other things that people need. And she's done that before during Hurricane Harvey, and now we're moving forward to do that again. So, I wish we were not here at this point in time, and I know there's a tendency to get storm fatigue. I understand that, and I know people say, here we are again. But let me just say as I go back to my seat, we can't control Mother Nature, and when Mother Nature decides to come and drop 6 inches of rain in an hour, as Mother Nature moves from the north to the south, we can't control Mother Nature. But what we can control is how we respond to Mother Nature. And I know we have storm fatigue, but this city has faced challenge after challenge, and we have confronted those challenges in a positive way, one after another. And I can only rely on my own faith. The race is not given to the swift, neither to the strong, but he that can endure it to the end. We don't have to be swift, and at all times we don't have to be always strong, but this is a city that perseveres, and we connect and we work with one another. And I don't care how many storms come, we will continue to rise to the occasion. And we, like the military, we leave no one behind. Okay, thank you, Mr. President.
Does anybody have any questions, or did you want to do one-on-ones?
Mayor, can you speak a little bit to the fact that there's still folks, as you speak to storm fatigue, who are still waiting for their homes to be repaired relating to Harvey?
Sure.
And they're just wondering, you have this other fund, how does this affect the first fund, and then when do they get their house repaired in relation to this one? Can you just speak to?
Yeah, well, these are local relief funds. The funds from the local relief fund from Hurricane Harvey, those dollars are already gone. So those were Harvey-related dollars, and those dollars are gone. From the local relief fund, I don't want to get confused with the federal dollars for housing, repairing, and construction.
I think there is frustration, right, from people who have not gotten their houses fixed, waiting for the federal funds, and they feel like maybe that was not the administration of that, separate from, I understand it's a different fund.
Yeah, those are different, and I don't want to confuse, because with respect to homes that were damaged during Hurricane Harvey, those federal dollars, about $1.3 billion, became available to the city of Houston this year. And again, when you say, I say available, not in the city's bank account. With respect to repair and recovery, there are two things that we are obligated to go through with the federal government. You have to do a verification, income verification, homeowner verification. So that's step one. And then you have to do what we call an environmental site inspection for asbestos and lead. That takes about 45 days, and you have to do that on every single home. and then you send that file up to the General Land Office for them to review verification, eligibility, as well as for the environmental site study. They sign off, they send it back, and then we're able to provide reimbursements, or we're able to connect homeowners to the various contractors. That process continues. And for individuals who have been impacted by Hurricane Harvey as well as Imelda, that process for them will continue. But the goal of this relief fund is to try our very best to put people in the best position as quickly as possible from Imelda, what took place on last week. So I don't want to get it confused. It can be confusing, but the local relief fund is separate from any federal or governmental dollars. None of the dollars from this local relief fund will benefit the county government or the city government, or the county's operation or the city's operation. These dollars will be used exclusively for people and their home repair, furnishings, and things of that nature. So two different things. Okay?
We talked with some of the homeowners.
Yesterday, President Trump,
One more question, and then there will be a round after.
President Trump yesterday made some comments about storm recovery. I believe he said he believed he gave himself an A+ on the assistance of the federal government when it came to Harvey. Given that he was in town, we're going through another thing. Did you have any conversations with him about how you think that the process could be improved?
I did not have any conversations with him. I certainly was encouraged by the fact that he wanted to do everything that he could to assist people with Hurricane Imelda. We appreciate that. The county judge and I both are working to try to get the president to sign off on a disaster recovery effort, which would make people eligible for FEMA dollars. You have to get to a threshold of about $16 million for Harris County, and that's why we're doing the assessments for the city as well as all of the areas in the county to get up to that $16 million assessment, and then he could sign the emergency declaration. So we are encouraged. He certainly said he wanted to be helpful. The only other thing that I will add, in all of these storms, it certainly will benefit everyone if the process could be streamlined a lot quicker, so that you're not having to wait 2+ years after a disaster to get dollars directly to the people who need the help the most. But that's something that will have to take place between the federal government, the state government, and the local partners, and certainly we're working on that. I have had conversations with a number of our congressional leaders to see how we can streamline the process.
Maybe, Judge, some of the homeowners who do have insurance, they're not sure if they're allowed to get assistance from this. Is that possible?
Yes, so if folks who have insurance and want help navigating the insurance system, they can visit our disaster recovery centers. There's links also on Ready Harris on how to do that. Now, in terms of exactly who will receive aid from this fund, that is something that we're going to work out with the nonprofits. And so our goal is to, and our hope is to help as many people as possible in the smartest way possible. And so if that means furniture, if that means transportation, if that means mucking and gutting, that's the assessment we're going through right now, talking to these nonprofits every day, and then also working with the Greater Houston Community Foundation that is doing this before. So I'm not going to say anybody's automatically disqualified, but as to exactly, this will go to getting people back up on their feet quickly, and then we will be developing exactly which nonprofits get the funds based on the applications and the vetting that the Greater Houston Community Foundation is doing. The key point is we're doing this very, very thoroughly, want to be smart and quick and good stewards of taxpayer funds. And I do want to mention, of course, as we're doing this at the same time, and the mayor and I, our role has turned to advocates for our community with the federal government, and we're working right now at the county today. We launched our cruise, our debris pickup cruise. They're going to be doing that in record 20 days is the goal for the first pass, which is how it should be. It takes folks to get their materials all out to the curb. We've been doing the count every day in unincorporated Harris County. The latest number we have is around 540 homes, but we continue to count. There are still areas that are impassable, and working very hard also to work on buyouts, so that as folks, the benefit is we now have funds, not like before. We have some funds so that we can make smart decisions, even if they're tough ones. For the projects, we're moving as quickly as possible, and then giving folks the opportunity who want to sell their home to do so as well.
Hoy están haciendo un cuestionario las personas que van a estos centros comunitarios. Eso es lo que menciona el alcalde, que están haciendo quieren obtener cierta cantidad de daños para poder pedir FEMA?
Sí, ya repito ahorita la respuesta a la otra pregunta, pero para responderla de usted, para recibir ayuda del gobierno federal necesitamos llegar a cierto número de daños, cierta cantidad de daños. Entonces tenemos que llegar a ese monto, y es por eso que tanto la ciudad como el condado está conduciendo con nuestros departamentos de ingeniería para entender los daños de las comunidades y poderle pasar ese número al gobierno federal. Eso por un lado. Por otro lado, en cuanto a calificar para esto, las personas que tengan seguro, que quieren llenar el reclamo de seguro, pueden recibir información en readyharris.org, también en los centros de desastre que hemos abierto en 2 partes del condado. En cuanto a cómo vamos a invertir estos fondos, es llevar la gente a la normalidad lo más rápido posible. Si eso quiere decir transporte, si quiere decir mesas, camas, todo esto, eso es lo que vamos a evaluar con la fundación de Greater Houston Community Foundation, con las organizaciones sin ánimo de lucro, entender cuál es la necesidad y qué fondos hay disponibles para ayudar la mayor cantidad de personas de la manera más inteligente.
Hay mucha confusión en estos momentos sobre los procesos migratorios y muchas personas indocumentadas que han sido afectadas, a lo mejor tienen el temor de solicitar ayuda por no ser registrados y tener problemas en sus procesos para regular su estatus migratorio. ¿Qué hay sobre las personas afectadas en este caso? ¿Se va a registrar esa petición y si esto afectaría en su proceso migratorio?
Personas con el tema migratorio inestable se les invita también a visitar nuestros centros de recuperación de desastre, y ahí habrá gente que hable español que los puede llevar por el sistema. No vamos a recaudar información que les pueda perjudicar, y tenemos gente lista para responder ese tipo de preguntas.
Pero estas personas indocumentadas podrían recibir ese tipo de dinero que están donando hoy en día.
Sí, personas indocumentadas podrían recibir la ayuda para la cual estamos recaudando fondos, y también se les puede conectar con organizaciones sin ánimo de lucro que están diseñadas específicamente para apoyar a gente sin documentos. Okay. Well,
Maya, we're going to try to do separate interviews. Thank you all very much.
yes, in unincorporated, so the county is responsible for the count in unincorporated areas.
Is there a more specific count for how many is it?
He said around 1,500 is what I heard him say. Yeah. Thank you. All right, thank you guys.